Bolton. I'm the digital marketing manager for Corcoran, and today I'm going to showcase Bambu, which is our social media advocacy platform. And we also have Gino on the line, who is our senior trainer as well. So he can also jump into some things that we have going on the rest of this month. So for those of you that have not logged into Bambu, the first thing that you will be prompted is to confirm your first and last name. And then once you do that, you will see the same screen that I'm showcasing right now. So before you start posting different stories, you need to go in and make sure your accounts are authorized. So if you just click on your name on the top right, and then click on View Your Profile. And then right here, you're going to connect your various social media accounts. So right here, you can see I have a Twitter, I have a Facebook page, I have an Instagram, and I'm going to be connecting my Instagram business profile. But just so you know what it looks like, it's going to prompt you to connect the Facebook page. It's then going to go through to Facebook. I'm gonna hit continue, and then it'll bring you back to the platform. So just so you get a feel of how, how the flow of moving from, authorizing the platform in order to use Bambu. So really that's what you're doing is, you're going to the platform that, the social media platform, you're saying, yes, I authorize this third party to post on my behalf, and then it's going to bring you back to the platform. And that's really just so that we're adhering to all the privacy policies. That being said, if you're wondering why there isn't a Facebook personal profile or a Instagram personal profile option, once again, that's due to the privacy policies associated with those platforms. Some of you might recall Facebook really got a slap on the wrist for not adhering to certain privacy policies. So they've become more strict on allowing what third parties can do with both Facebook and Instagram. And that being said, we do recommend that if you do have an Instagram and you are very active on it, that you do move over to a business profile versus a personal profile. And, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to do advertising or anything like that. But because of the public's persona of, a real estate agent, it really makes sense to be able to dive into the analytics that are attached to a business profile. It's completely free, and then it allows you, if you want to move forward and then do advertising further down the line, you can do so. But what it mostly does is it gives you access to analytics and things like that if you're really looking to grow your audience with Instagram. So once you move over your Instagram account from your personal account, you can do so within the Instagram app. Then you connect to your Instagram page. If you do not want to do that, that's also okay. And I will show you how to download the information and how you would want to post to your Instagram, your personal Instagram profile as well. So we'll be getting into that. And the same thing with Facebook. This is just a fake health account page that I made. So if you have like a Facebook page on you in real estate, so you can connect that. Just keep in mind that you cannot connect your Facebook personal profile. So if you try to do that, it's not going to allow it, and that's due to their policies. All right, so once you have connected, say one or two, you don't even need to connect all of them, just whatever you use. You can then go forward and go back to my feed and start posting. So right here, you can see there's a lot of really awesome, fun featured posts. And then so you can see on the side whether or not they're able to be shared or if they're internal. Just to show you guys, the reason why these are internal is because these are video assets. So in order to post these, you click into the post, and then you click this link. and it will bring you to a Dropbox to which then you can download right here. And the reason why we're having it hosted on Dropbox is because all other hosting would need to be public, and these are private campaigns right now, so we want to make sure that we are really controlling that content. Oh, I got a question. All right, so Hugh, I'm gonna answer your question at the end because it seems very specific to Instagram. So I'm gonna wait until after we go through Bambu. So, so right here, so we have the internal messages. So you'll see internal messaging can be anything from, you know, say it's an asset for a Instagram story, or if it's a private video file that we don't want to necessarily share publicly yet, you'll see these in this section. And then also any internal messaging, for instance, from your team or from for the full Corcoran network. They might also pull out different things that are happening beyond the Corcoran network that could also be internal messaging. When it comes to internal messaging, you cannot share these out. Typically, there'll be a message why, you know, download the video. It's very clear that you can share this out to promote the Be Home campaign. It's just telling you how. Right, and then we also have these lovely static images as well. So as you can see, this already has been shared. It was updated 2 days ago, and so people are sharing this out. It seems like the Twinkle social graphic campaign is getting the most traction. And so right here, you can see the asset, and then you can also then share. So right here, because it is a social media, you know, more of a graphic post, it's going to be more optimized for Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram because it's really imagery focused. So for instance, if I click on Twitter, I will then be prompted with these 2 message ideas. And so when they say message ideas, that's another way to say captions. So this is really what captions are already written. You can choose to use these. I know I do. They save me a lot of time. Or you can always edit and write your own caption in here as well. So something to note with Twitter, it does require you to slightly alter the message, and that's just one of the requirements when posting onto Twitter. It does not happen with any other social media platform, but just be wary if you are being prompted to change. That's because most likely you are posting to Twitter. So if I even want to switch to the other message idea, I can do so by switching and using this. But I think I'm going to stick with this one. I think it's fun, uplifting. And right here, I can choose to either tweet it out immediately in real time, or I can schedule it out for later. So I'm going to continue to scroll down. And since I'm scheduling out later, I can choose to either, you know, schedule it out for later today, but it looks like I already have some content being scheduled. So I'm going to put this for Thursday morning. And I can continue, you know, schedule out the full week. We do recommend that you don't schedule things out beyond the week, just because we want to make sure that everything's, you know, fresh and relevant, because how things change with social media quite rapidly. All right, so I'm going to schedule that out, and it's going to confirm scheduled successfully. All right, and so for instance, I don't necessarily have an Instagram business profile connected right now. So what I would do if I were to post this to my own Instagram is I can either right click and I can save image, or I can drag and drop the image to my desktop. So just keep that in mind. If you are looking to still post this and you don't want to move over to an Instagram business profile, you can still save the image and post it directly through your app that way. And then you can copy and paste over the captions into your notes or something like that to then upload. So there are ways to, if you want to keep your Instagram, or if you want to Instagram personal profile, or if you want to continue to post on your Facebook personal profile, you can still do so. All right, and so this is my little reminder that I already have this scheduled out. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like to schedule out an article. right? So these are some other great imagery posts. All right. And so this is another article. And so right here we have the curator's note. It says NPR's guide onto how to start writing a book. So for those of you that, you know, maybe you blog, maybe you write, this could be something really interesting for your audience. So not only do you want to necessarily post things that are of interest to you, also keep your audience in mind. And I'll also show you how to make sure that you're all keeping your audience in mind with the topics that you're following. So right here, because this is an article, I can, you know, start reading a little bit about the article preview, or I can read the full story by clicking this link right here and really get the full gist of the article. If maybe I just want to skim it and I kind of get an understanding what it's about, this looks interesting, maybe I want to share it on LinkedIn. So right here, because it is an article, it's not going to prompt you to share it on Instagram like the imagery focused posts, but you will also be able to share through email and then LinkedIn. So if I'm going to share this through LinkedIn, once again, the first caption idea will be pre-populated into my caption box. And then I can also see what other ideas they have going on. So I can use this one. And once again, if I want to edit this, I can. I don't necessarily have to, but you know, if you want to add a hashtag, you can do so. Just keep in mind, if you are tagging, it doesn't necessarily always go through, but so we really don't recommend doing any sort of tagging of specific people, but hashtags are definitely welcome. So once again, I'm going to schedule this out. So I'm going to schedule this for tomorrow morning and then schedule successfully. So as you're going through, and you're looking at your feed and you're seeing things that, you know, maybe they apply to you, maybe they're of interest, maybe they're not. So how you can really change that is by exploring topics. So every piece of content is associated with the topic. The two first topics are required, and this is really just to help keep you in the loop with Corcoran things going on, as well as Bambu news. So say, you know, a couple days from now, you really could use a refresher of this wonderful demo that we're doing today. Something that's really great that you can always look and reference is this article on Bambu News. It's called Getting Started with Bambu, and this is an internal message. And really what it is a video tutorial, just like what we're doing right now, to walk you through how to start social sharing on Bambu. So it's a really great piece that's we've actually kept up here. It's been obviously since 2018, but it's been so popular that we've left it here because we find that it's a really great refresher for our users getting into Bambu, or maybe you haven't been in Bambu for a minute, so you want a bit a guidance on how to really use the platform. So that's always going to be under Bambu News. And then we have our other topics that you can choose whether or not you want to follow. So say for instance, you know, Chicago, maybe that's not really applicable to you or your audience. You know, keep in mind if your audience, you know, if there's a lot of consultants, maybe they travel to Chicago for work or anything like that, just always, you know, keep these things in mind, because when people are traveling, they definitely look towards articles. So you can either, you know, see what kind of articles they have in the Chicago topic, or you can just choose to, if you want, to just unfollow it. And if you want to unfollow it, it's going to automatically remove all of the content associated with this topic from your feed. Keep in mind, if a story is associated with multiple topics, it may still appear in your feed, and that's because it's being associated with another topic. So if you do see something, it was removed, but maybe if it's a food or architectural related story, then it's going to be under design and architecture as well. Typically, we try and limit it really for each regional location to make sure that doesn't happen, but certain posts we do think would be really useful and would perform well across the corporate network, so we do apply other topics. So for instance, so at Chicago, I've unfollowed. If say, maybe I want to unfollow Brooklyn, you can do so on a user level. So this gives you the power to really, you know, curate your feed so that you're seeing things that are most of interest to you. So if you want, you can unfollow New York City, you know, you can unfollow Florida, or really whatever you'd like to curate your feed. And then so if I jump back, this will be slightly different depending on what has been excluded. And then over here, so I have For You, which is your feed, Explore Topics, which we just went over, and then also Scheduled. So these are all the posts that I have scheduled right now. So I can go through and just review all the things that I have scheduled for this week. And then I can also see what I've shared in the past. And then if you're wondering what this number right here, that's who has also shared that same exact post within the Corcoran network. So certain posts that have expired, the shares will disappear. So these are all expired posts, but I can still see that once upon a time I did post them. And then I can also dive into reporting. Oh, getting a couple of questions. Question with the Dropbox account, you do not need a Dropbox account to download the video. And then to clarify, even though it's an internal notification, yes. So just to go back, there are a couple questions on the Be Home, so I just want to make sure that I'm clear. So for instance, it is an internal message, and the reason why is because in order to make the video postable directly from the platform, we would need to make it public on, you know, YouTube or Vimeo or a hosted platform. Because this is, you know, we're doing a soft launch of the Be Home campaign, we wanted to keep it more private. And so right here we have the, you know, the direction, share this video on your social to promote our Be Home campaign, download the video from the link below. And then so right here, once again, this is the link below. You do not need a Dropbox account. Dropbox might want you to create an account, and you can just exit out. That's not necessary by any means. You just hit right here next to sign in, you hit the download button, and then you can directly download that to your desktop and then upload it to your social media. All right. So going through, so I've gone through my scheduled posts for the week. I've gone through my shared. Now let's dive into some reporting. So along with, you know, all of the posting and scheduling aspects, it also shows you, you know, what my engagements were like with the various posts that I have. So as you can see, I'm, you know, getting up there engagements. I definitely have a lot of work to do, but you can see based on, you know, various test accounts. So I'm jumping into this one. This is about the Corcoran Reverie launch in Northwest Florida. And so I can see, okay, this was my potential reach. I shared this on LinkedIn. So I had a potential reach of 635 people. I had nine direct reactions and engagements to the post, and then I had one share. So I'm able to kind of dive into, okay, I can revisit the story, and I can also see, you know, what the potential was, and maybe that wasn't the best time to post. And these are things that I can all, like, you know, I can gauge based on, you know, various other posts that I've been doing. So for instance, you know, these posts obviously didn't perform as well. So I'm getting a bit better with my engagement, but I definitely have some ways to go. And that being said, I really recommend anyone to go on to mycorcoran.com and take a look at the social media playbook. It's a really great, useful guide as to how you know, when the best time for agents to post, what kind of content, and it's located on mycorcoran.com. It's really a annual focus group that we do. We track over 1,000 agents, and we look at what their interactions are over the course of a year on social media, and we then we take all the data, and then we create this playbook and release it every year. I got another question. Yes, any tips about promoting you and your YouTube channel? Once again, I would definitely turn to the social media playbook. YouTube is not necessarily as prominent, but there's definitely some insights. If you want to do any sort of promoting, I presume you're talking more advertising. That would definitely be a separate conversation, but say you want to compose a post on your YouTube channel, then you can still do so by adding in a link right here to whatever that, you know, YouTube content is, and then you can also post directly to your network. I got a question on what constitutes engagement. Engagement is any sort of like or comment that is done directly to the post. All right. And then, so I'm going to then jump to the leaderboard, which is a really awesome feature. It's kind of gamifying, you know, it's across all agents in the Corcoran network and showing how many people are sharing, and really a fun way to, you know, connect with people, you know, from Chicago, from the Hamptons, from Florida. We got a lot of people in here, and it's a really great way to, you know, see what everyone else is doing and how active everyone is on Bambu. And then you can also jump to the past months. And so I'm going to go back into my feed, and I'm also going to show you guys, you mentioned YouTube. So I'm going to show a couple of different ways to compose your own content, as well as suggesting stories. So we really look to our agents to suggest things that they see that could be a really great add to the platform. So I'm going to show you first how to compose, because you can suggest a story within the compose feature. So I'm going to click on compose, and I have an article that I pulled from Architectural Digest. So I'm going to paste in this article. And if it was a YouTube link, as long as it's a public video, you can also post, you know, a YouTube link. It doesn't necessarily have to be an article, but just always make sure that whatever you're posting is professional and is up to par with, you know, Corcoran standards. So just, you know, and make sure anything, you know, is something that you would want to post to the network. So this is something I'm composing. I'm sharing a story. This is only going to my my followers directly. So right here, I would, because I'm posting and composing my own story, I am going to be writing my own caption. I have one just kind of ready to go in here. And then so from here, I can also suggest it for the community. So if I say, you know, want others to see this article, I can say yes, and then I can include a note as to why. So for instance, you know, I think this is a really great article. You know, while people are stuck at home, it's fun to, you know, go and do a virtual tour of all of these really rare cars. So I can, you know, add a little blurb just like that in here. Or say maybe I just don't really want to share it with the entire community. It's something more personal to me. So I can turn this off, and I can still use the scheduling feature to then put this out on my content calendar for maybe Saturday, because I feel like it's a little more lifestyle related. And then I can schedule. Couple more questions. What is the benefit of doing a suggested post inside Bambu versus a direct share? Great question, Ellen. So the benefit is you get the analytics and the reporting that you don't necessarily get with a direct share. And then you also have the ability to schedule it out in advance versus when you're doing a direct share within your social media account, you're not able to schedule it out. You're really only stuck to real-time posting. So for instance, if I would like, on Mondays or Sunday morning, I can have my cup of coffee and I can really schedule out a substantial amount of social media content throughout my entire week. And that way I don't have to necessarily worry about posting. I can just, supplement it with articles maybe here and there. I got a question from Christy Morrison. So how to sign up and how to start working with it. There's no need to sign up. Simply go to mycorcoran.com and you will see the Bambu button, call to action under the product suite. And what you do is if it's your first time signing into Bambu, you simply click on the Bambu button and it will then single sign you on into the Bambu platform. And then you will be prompted to confirm your first and last name. And then you hit OK, and then you'll be in the platform. And then from there, in case those of you that missed in the beginning, if it is your first time signing into Bambu, you want to make sure that you go and immediately to your name at the top right corner, and then you click view your profile, and then you want to authorize your social media accounts that you'd be posting to. So for instance, I can disconnect, you'll see connect Facebook page, and then I can just reconnect there. It will take me to Facebook. I say continue as Sarah, and then it will take me back into Bambu. And that way that you're authorizing your accounts, so then you can go ahead back into my feed and you can start posting. And then once again, this is a really great article, Getting Started with Bambu. I highly recommend taking some time, just quick watch the video, and it really goes through what I'm talking with right now to show you how to really use the platform, just in case you need a refresher. All right. All right, and then so I can continue to go back through. So once again, internal messages, you cannot post directly from the platform. And this is, because it's an informational video, so just keep track of the contributors' posts right there. And then we have all the various other articles as well. A couple more questions came in. Would I recommend we use Sprout Social and Bambu? Do they work together or are they complementary? That's a great question. So we provide Bambu, but if you choose to have a Sprout Social account, for those of you not aware, Sprout Social is the company that has created Bambu. So it's under the Sprout Social umbrella. Sprout Social is a really great brand. They produce really great reporting on different things and insights happening in social media. They're a great insight. I think if you choose to use Sprout Social for something different, that's really up to you. We find that, Bambu really covers our bases. So they don't necessarily, if you were to also, buy an account with Sprout Social, it's not going to change your Bambu instance in any way. We find that it really works well on its own, but that's something that obviously if you like Sprout Social and you want to continue to work with them, I don't think it can hurt in any way. Another question, so you can decide to just send to LinkedIn, for instance, or it always go. So I think this person's asking, can you only send to one social media platform, such as LinkedIn, for instance, or do you always have to share to all social media platforms? And the question is, the answer is you can just share to one platform. So depending on the platform, I really tend to curate content to to perform best on said platform. So for instance, this is, NYC opens 7 miles of streets in and near parks. This is more what I would consider more of a lifestyle article. So I would be more apt to share this on Twitter, Facebook, or maybe to email someone directly versus something that is a bit more applicable to business. Like this one, I feel like NPR, we're talking about, Zoom backgrounds. This has more of like an industry office topic involved with it. I would share this more to LinkedIn. If you choose, you can share to both. I just typically, and that could be the case where a lot of articles could be very much shared on both, Facebook and Twitter or Facebook and LinkedIn, and you can very much do so. I tend to just to share content based on, whatever it's going to be, on the, depending on the content. So lifestyle, I tend to post on Facebook and Twitter, and then any sort of, LinkedIn, I really try and feature more industry related or office, related culture articles. All right. And also, I got another question. To be clear, can you post to 2 platforms simultaneously? I believe so. Let me see. So after you post, you'll be prompted to then post on another one. So for instance, this is me posting to LinkedIn. I'm going to send later. And then I can then post to Twitter. So you can post the same content simultaneously. The reason why you just have to kind of post one to LinkedIn and then move to Twitter is because of the character restrictions. And for instance, since I'm posting to Twitter, it does have that that ability that I have to change the comment. But say if we were to go back, and for those of you that may have not caught this, I'm composing an article. It will allow me to post directly for the other ones as well. So I'll just show you quick once again. This is a, Architectural Digest article, and it's in for Twitter. So I'm just going to, copy and paste once again that caption, and I'm just going to tweet it out. And then post is good to go, and then I can immediately post to Facebook as well. Because all of these social media platforms operate separately, you cannot post within one text box for Facebook and then also directly send them to Twitter. That's just part of the third-party authorization process, but it is pretty seamless to do and jump from one to the next. So if I'm going to then add that same caption, I just copy and paste it in, and then I can post it out. And then so it'll say, I posted this to Twitter, I posted this to Facebook, and now I can also post this to LinkedIn. All right. And just so you guys see what it is like to suggest a post, we really appreciate all suggestions. Anything it can be added in. Also, it's really great. You guys know what's happening in your local community. So anything that you think would be of interest to then share out to the full Corcoran network, or just your specific topic or region, you can do so here. But I'll just show you, for example, this is an article from Inhabit. For those of you that may not be familiar, Inhabit is Corcoran's blog. And so we have, new and noteworthy listings. So I'm just going to say, All right. And then I can just suggest the story. And so you guys know those suggestions then go to our social media editorial team. They'll read through the article and make sure that, you know, the publication is, you know, reputable, and they do all the diligence in the back end. And then they will create 2 caption ideas, also known as message ideas, to then add to the full network and associate with the correct topic. All right. And then so I realized Hugh had a question at the beginning in regards to Instagram. So I just want to make sure we address that. He mentioned that he's having trouble with Instagram. He has 2 Instagram business profiles with the same log information. Unsure how to delete or disable one of them without completely deleting my entire account. This is something that you would have to do through Facebook, which I know seems a little bit backwards that you're managing your Instagram through Facebook, but because Facebook's the parent company, anything to do with business, you would have to do through your Facebook account. And then so once you're in Facebook, you should be able to access your business accounts by clicking on your name, and then it will say like business manager. And then through there, you should be able to manage your Instagram business accounts. All right. Oh, and I have another question from Caroline Scott. In order to post Instagram personal page, you need to have the video post on your phone. Last week, I couldn't get the Corcoran video to save on my phone, although it's saved to on my husband's Android. How do you recommend getting videos from the download on your phone, from your computer to your phone? So that really depends on if you have a Mac or if you use a PC. Caroline, if you use a Mac, a really great tool is Airdrop. And you can airdrop the file to yourself. So for instance, if I downloaded the file, I would then go into my Finder, and then at the top it'll say airdrop, and I will make sure that my phone has airdrop on if you have an iPhone. And then you can airdrop the file into your Finder, and then it'll go directly through your phone. I'm not actually too familiar, PC. So I'm not so familiar with PCs, but something that you can do is download the Bambu app. And you can do so by, once again, clicking on your name and then clicking resources. And that way, if you are just trying to, you know, use this more on, if you're finding you're really posting more on the go, or you're posting on, you know, mobile, you can download either for Apple or Android. And you, by typing in your number, so right here, I'm just going to put my number, and then I can text myself a link. And then it'll text my phone a direct link to the app, so I don't have to go through and you know, download it, you know, or search through the app stores. I can just have them text me a link, and that's the easiest way to download it. And then that way, that when you're on your phone, you can go through and click the link, and then it'll bring you to Dropbox, probably in Chrome, and then you can just download it directly to your phone and then post from there. Another way, if you already have the files downloaded, you can always email them to yourself as well. I'm not quite sure if PC has an AirDrop equivalent. I'm not so familiar with that, but I do recommend, if you do find yourself more posting from your phone rather than your desktop, to just download the app and sign in from there, and then you should be able to download and then work directly off of your mobile or tablet. Actually, my apologies, I lost that share. Any other questions? All right, and so once again, you know, It's a really great tool, very much so for those of you that are not so great at crafting your own captions like myself. I definitely really love the captions that the editorial and social media team have created. And also, you know, we all have your local team as well in here crafting posts. So we have a lot of different things coming from the different areas. For instance, you know, we have a lot of San Francisco Bay Area. You can see all the different posts that we have in here from your team. So we have a lot of localized content as well. And we also appreciate any suggested stories if you know you're posting to your account and you think it'd be a great fit for the community. I'll give it a couple more seconds for any other questions. Once again, just to remind you guys, you can get the app by clicking on your name on the top right corner, headed to resources and adding in your phone number. Just be aware that because it is an app, you might have to sign in once, but once you sign in, you shouldn't have to sign in again. And just because that might be outside of your single sign-on through one login. So just keep that in mind, but at least you'd only have to do it once, and then you can use the app outside, you know, on your mobile application direct. All right. Well, Gino, it seems like there's no other questions. If you want to highlight anything happening in the rest of the week or anything coming up in this month on any sort of training or content that we have going on.
Sure.
And just so you guys know, it is a soft launch, so that this is not the entirety of the Be Home campaign. So make sure that you are checking into Bambu because we're going to be launching more videos as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Sarah. This was phenomenal. Yeah, I think you know, we always suggest, you know, I think the best next step is to just go in and start playing with the platform. Connect to your accounts, try doing a couple of posts, maybe suggest a story, and hopefully you guys can have some fun with this. I did record the session today that Sarah did, so I'll be sending that to Steve Del Pena shortly, and he could kind of distribute it to you guys if you want to watch the recording later. The other thing we have going on this week, some of you may have known, we have an agent panel. We have a couple of agents from Corcoran Global Living participating in that, which we're very excited about. That will be Thursday, I believe it's noon your time. So Thursday at noon, I'll be hosting an agent panel. So hopefully you guys can participate in that. Should be a lot of fun. But like I said, we'll make sure to get this recording to you guys. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But if not, thank you guys so much for joining again, and we look forward to seeing you soon.